Welcome back, and if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. On today's vlog, I want to show you how we're going to reorganize these shelves. And surprise, we have taken over our guest room to be a filament and a product storage area since we are doing vendor events as well as our online offerings. So I'm going to set up the camera in a time lapse to show you the process, but first I want to show you what we're using. So we got these at our local Rural King, and they only came with, 4 shelves, and we're going to need a lot more shelving. So Papa Wolf already tested this method out. We are simply using a 3D printed holder, and there's not going to be any brackets going across these new shelves. These are 2 new ones that he put in, just using plywood that we had cut down. So because the products are so light, we can use this and they're rather stable, as you can see. So I'm going to set up the rest of the shelves that we have laid out. And like I said, I'll do a time lapse and then I'll come back on and kind of go over what we have on our shelves here in our new filament and product storage room. I've just run into an issue. So Papa Wolf laid out this really nice diagram of where we want to put the shelves and everything. Gonna need to rethink it for a minute. The reason being is that we don't have access to this opening, these 2, I guess you call them slats, the keyholes that these need to slide into, because this is where the joint of the 2 shelves comes together and it covers these holes. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is rearrange how we want these shelves and make this shelf probably a clear tile, not tile, clear container shelf. So in our plan, we have that our clear bins are gonna be right here, which those work. Got these bins from Harbor Freight. And then we're gonna put our tiles here. And some of these bins, these are the bins that we're using for our product to take to vendor shows. They work really great because you can see through them. The size is perfect. And if you need to know, I'll put a link down in the description, and it won't be an affiliate link. We don't have anything with Amazon or anything like that, but it's a 20-quart Sterilite brand. And those just fit here, which we're gonna have to lower this shelf a little bit. But right here, we wanted to duplicate this setup, and I need access to put the middle shelf right here, and it's just not working. And I actually don't have enough to put this shelf at the correct level. So I'm gonna just pause for a minute and kind of figure out how we can redo all of our ideas on this diagram. So there'll be another time lapse. Just wanted to hop on here and just let you know, sometimes it doesn't go to your diagram and you got to problem solve an issue like a bracket that is covering up the keyholes. All right, so what I wound up doing in that time lapse was raising this shelf right here so it was even with this one, and instead of having these 3 shelves be right here, moved them to this side. Just made sense, so I can have access to these keyholes to put those extra shelves in. That really worked well. That meant that our double stack of the 20-quart Sterilite containers moved down. And that's all right, they're enclosed, it's not a big deal. And these actually have our PETG in that will also go into our Sunloo dryer as well. But that system works. I had Papa Wolf come in and go, all right, this is what I have to do. And he's like, okay, yeah, that works. I trust you. So the other thing we're going to need to decide is we're not happy with our multi-board tile containers. So I don't know, maybe you have a great idea for these multi-board tiles and how we can stack them in our colors. We offer 4, white, black, gray, and dark gray. You can find them on our website, link in the description. But I really like these cardboard boxes for right now. Saved us a lot of printing for storage. And I'll put the link in the comments as well for those. And then these are, like I said, from Harbor Freight. And they do stack, but I like them better on the shelf like that. We just want to pull them in and out. And these are the large clear stacking bin. And you can find those at Harbor Freight. I'll see if I can put a link in the description as well for those. And of course, you're going to want the link to the 3D print for the brackets that we're using for this project. I do believe in the file there is another section to this, but all we used today was the one that has more or less the right angle in that triangle stance. These are a little more flimsy because they don't have the extra support. So we just went with this style that's in the file. Of course, you need 4 of them for each of your 4 corners. The other thing to keep in mind when you're adding the shelf, if you notice in the time lapse, the wooden plywood, you need to put that at the bottom before you put these in, and then raise the top one first, and then place your brackets in place in each of the corners and just let it go down, and then lift the next shelf if you're doing a second shelf. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get the boards in. So just keep that in mind. Papa Wolf figured out that process for me early on when he did this first set. And we will probably clean up the top up here. These are just our starter packs ready to go for multi-board. And I'd like to rearrange that, but pretty much our filaments up here. Product is down here. You'll notice the totes that I was bringing in the time lapse. We have just enough room for those. So I think we're good at this point. But like I said, look forward to us figuring out this section, but it's a lot better than what it was, and we can breathe a little bit easier and come in and organize these by color and style. And that's all that I have for you today on today's vlog. If you have any questions or any suggestions for content, be sure to put in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great one and happy printing.